Hey, happy Saturday. What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing really well. It is about that time again. Saturdays and Wednesdays, we do these live song reviews, and I actually really enjoy them. I hope you guys do as well. And if you do, share them with people, like the videos, comments, all that good stuff, because we're always trying to build the YouTube channel so we can build business, build relationships, and build people's music businesses. All right, we're trying to help people out. I'm trying to be here on my Saturday. It's Saturday at 5:30 p.m. in Los Angeles and I'm in the studio with you guys. So just try to take that into perspective. Like, I could be doing anything else I want to be doing, and I'm here with you guys to just give you feedback on your songs. All right, so just show some appreciation, show some love, like, subscribe to the channel, do all the things that are going to take you like 5 seconds, literally. All right. And I'm going to try and bring you as much value as I possibly can with 23 years, going on 24 years of music experience, platinum records, Grammy, Emmy, Oscar nominated work, Cannes Film Festival nominated work, all sorts of different stuff that I've worked on. And I'm trying to put all that knowledge and everything I possibly can into giving you guys the best feedback I can possibly give you to help you achieve those sounds and those things that are going to get you market viable success. All right. And a really funny story the other day, and hopefully this inspires you. This is not to brag. Okay. I want you guys to really think about this. I'm not here to brag to the 3 people watching this video right now. The other day I wake up, and of course, usually I wake up to people bitching or complaining or customer service issues or the website's down or, bro, I need this mix revision, it's always bad stuff. 2 days ago, I woke up and I had a voicemail from somebody, this lady, and she was like, "Hey, Bradley, I have a bunch of money for you." And I was like, what the fuck? This is awesome, right? What a way to wake up. I was so stoked about it. And she's like, yeah, apparently we've been collecting royalties for you since 2016, and we have a bunch of your money, and we need to get this money to you. You just have to fill out this sheet. And so I was like, is this a scam? That's the first thing, right? Because everybody thinks online, they're like, yo, is this a scam? Is someone trying to scam me? Yo, can I get, I got money for you. Okay, cool. Yeah, sure. And then I called her up and I found out that it was actually a secondary musicians fund for union work I had done on all these different films. And this one was specifically for the Vacation movie that I did in 2015, I think. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. So basically, never give up hope, guys, because I just found out that I have royalties that have been collected and are owed to me from over 5 years ago. All right. So this music game is a long game. That's the name of the game. So all I'm trying to do is help you guys improve and get better at music and keep growing with your music and get the feedback you need, right? Daryl, can I get a link to upload my song? Yes, sir. And thanks, dude. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate you throwing some super chat money at me. That really means a lot, dude. So the link, actually, you could send it to my email, because the truth is, Daryl, is the link is sent to our mailing list. And if you're not on the mailing list, then you're not going to get that link. But just send it directly to my email, and I will... Bradley at radium-media.com, and I will make sure and review it for you, especially considering you threw a little super chat money at me. I'd love to put you ahead of the line as well. Hey, man, Avalon, that means a lot too. I really, really I love doing this stuff, and I love helping people, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. I think a lot of people online, they think that you're trying to scam them or you're trying to make money off them. And the truth is, guys, we sell stuff that's $19. Do you think we really make money off that? Do you know the cost to advertise? You basically just break even, right? But what we're trying to do with all of this is just connect with people, more like-minded people, and build business with them and help them with mixing and mastering and other things and services that we provide here out of Hollywood, right? My income does not come from selling you guys $19 Logic packs, okay? I would not be in business. My income comes from working on films, TV shows, commercials, records, independent records, producing, sync licensing, like mixing and mastering for clients, labels, publishers, publishing deals. That's where the money comes from in the music business, for me especially. But I just love doing the extra stuff. I love making the content. I love helping you guys. It's very rewarding when you get people that hit you back and go, yo, that masterclass changed the game for me. Like, that's the shit that I love, you guys. So, and I love getting on these lives. I mean, it's Saturday at 5:30 in Hollywood, bro. Like, I could be anywhere else. I could be out like having a margarita on a patio and watching the sunset, you know what I'm saying? But I'm right here with you guys. So let's get right into it. I want to check out what we got today for our uploads and see what songs we got. I'm always excited to hear the new stuff too. You guys don't really understand like how cool it is to have people on the mailing list that are uploading songs, and you get to like hear new stuff from people every week. Like I just fucking love it. I love like, whoa, this is really interesting, or this sucks. You know, like it's actually pretty exciting to hear what comes out of people. And you know, like it's just like it's kind of inspiring as well. So let's go. Music reviews. What do we got? Okay, we got a few tracks in here. That's what's up. Okay, so we got stuff uploaded. Ernest Allen. I'm gonna show you guys my screen as well. Stage 4 cancer survivor. The song you sent is about a journey. Michael Bush. Awesome, man. Hey, congrats. Fuck cancer, right? That's amazing. That is amazing. That's so cool. And you know, like the coolest part is like people come on here from all over the world. People from the UK, Canada, South Africa, like all over the world get on here. What's up, Big Tigga? How you doing? All right, so let's get into it. I'm going to show you my screen so you can kind of see what I'm looking at as far as like the uploads and stuff. And we'll just go right into the first song. Make sure I got all this set up right. Here we go. There you go. So that's the list here. And if you're not seeing your name on here or your song on here, make sure you check your email for the mailing list and click on the link and upload your song here. Okay. So let's go. Ernest Allen. And I'll typically spend about an hour with you guys. Okay. Statement. Let's roll.
Okay. See me at Boston Plays. yeah. Let's go. Okay, little shorty got me faded. I don't got no patience. No time trying to figure out her thoughts, she don't make sense. I never move basic, flooded like a basement. No matter what they say to me, I still make a statement. And I feel like I'm a star, and now she down bad. And little shorty hit my name, sucking her head. But that's okay, I'ma just keep stacking my bread. Cause you could never give me factual statement. I never turn my back on you, you wouldn't turn your back on me. Sorry, little shorty, don't you see? I'ma keep rolling with my team. Sorry you wasn't chosen up. Tryna wear my wave, you soaking up. Taking off so high, we floating up. And I'm feeling like an ocean. Okay, little shorty got me faded. I don't got no patience. No time tryna figure out her thoughts, she don't make sense. I never move basic, flooded like a basement. No matter what they say to me, I still make a statement. And I feel like I'm a star, and now she down bad. And the shorty hit my name, sucking her head. But that's okay, I'ma just keep stacking my bread. Cause you could never give me factual statement. That's my girl, she stuck in the world due to money dreams. And it's funny how you come around when I'm stacking bands. But just last week you was sitting there laughing with your friends. Thought I was stupid, you choosing, I'm doing my dance. Okay, little shorty got me faded, I don't got no patience. No time tryna figure out her thoughts, she don't make sense. I never move basic, flooded like a basement. No matter what they say to me, I still make a statement. And I feel like I'm a star, and now she down bad. And the shorty hit my name, sucking.
Okay, dope. I like the vibe. I like the flow. Like, I think it's very modern songwriting that's happening here. I just think that it gets a little bit monotonous, you know? Da, 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 da. Like it kind of sticks on one note the whole time. I think you could switch up the flow a little bit and the notes in the verses compared to the chorus. I think that would make it much more interesting, you know? Like just getting off that da 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 da. You know, like just try to like move around a little bit more. Keep that for the chorus, you know, and then when you get to the verses, it's cool to like use a different note or go into a different range. I think that'd be really dope. It kind of reminds me of Tory Lanez. I've worked with Tory Lanez's writer, Mansa Imani, right? He's a good friend of mine, and he actually jumped on the Cannon Busters, this anime that I scored. He jumped on the Cannon Busters soundtrack album, and we actually signed that over to Sony Masterworks and Sony ATV Publishing. So, you know, like I think this sound is modern and relevant, but you got to switch it up a little bit, you know? Experiment with your writing, experiment with giving us different moments where the melody's going somewhere, right? Second thing is back up off all the exciters, you know, like the saturation and stuff that you're doing. It's actually not that pleasing to the ear, and it feels oversaturated and just like it's just kind of annoying on the high mid frequencies. It doesn't sound natural. It doesn't really sound good. The low end is lacking like incredibly a lot, especially for this style of music, that fast trap shit. You need sub, you need punch. You need to mix and master on this really, really badly. And I'd be happy to mix and master this kind of track, and I'd probably charge you around $500 for it. So if you're willing to invest in some tracks and you want to really make them sound big and stand out for some industry shit, you know, hit me up, let me know. Because I think most of the notes I would give you on this is just a lot of mix master notes. But besides that, the writing and how you can improve that is just starting to kind of mess around with different lyrics, different pockets in the verses versus the chorus. So we don't have that monotonous one tone kind of going the whole time. It just kind of gets boring, and it's only 2 minutes long. So if you're getting boring in a 2-minute song, then you're kind of screwed, right? Daryl, I'm going to check my email right now, brother. Let me see here. Manager, playlist. Let me see. Swain. I don't see it. Is this you, Swain? I don't see that. I don't see YouTube. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Did you send it to Bradley at radium-media.com? Daryl? That's my email right there. So, I mean, maybe I'll check spam, maybe. It might be in spam or promotions or something. I got Queen Cat My Buns and a bunch of like fake capital lending stuff. I don't see it, bro. I'll double check in a second after we listen to another track or two, okay? All right, let's move on, guys. You guys like that track? Let us know in the comments. What do you guys think about it? I always love getting your guys' feedback as well. YH, do what you want to do. Let's go.
Hey, say do what you want to do. Hey, hold up. You can say what you want to say. I'm still doing my thing. Yeah. You can do what you want to do. You can say what you want to say. But I know I ain't that perfect, but I know there's a better way. Say I know there's a better way. That's the reason why I grind a day. Do what you want to do. You can say what you want to say. But I know I ain't that perfect, but I know there's a better way. Say I know there's a better way. That's the reason why I grind a day. Do what you want to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Get into that money, that's what I'm gonna do. And I ain't never on that fake shit. I spit facts, that's the reason why they hate it. And I can tell the fake from the real nigga. You the type of nigga that'll say you down for it. When the weight gets too heavy, you ain't around for it. Damn, on some fucked up shit. And they lay your ass sinking on some quicksand shit. But I don't blame him though. I blame the cash. I can see the change all in you niggas. Cause when your pockets on low, they look at you way different. Damn. And that's a fact though. I spit numb.
All right, this is one of those situations that really piss me off, right? Because it's like the artist is talented. The artist has like a cool pocket. they got a cool vibe. It's that Bay Area blap. I lived in the Bay Area for 4 years. Oakland, Alameda, Berkeley, all East Bay. I was in and out of San Francisco damn near every day because my fiance at the time actually worked a bar like right in the middle of San Francisco, right? So I'm like super familiar with the sound. I've known Marty Grimes, G-Eazy for a long time, since they were playing shows of like 300 people in downtown Oakland. And now G's like selling out stadiums, right? So this sound is cool. It's dope. It's that Bay Area, got a little hyphy, thing in there. But dude, this is the thing about it, is it's just not recorded well. It sounds like someone recorded it in a bathroom, like straight up. The vocals sound like shit. And the beat is just not blapping the way it should blap. And it has so much to do with just recording well and getting a good recording setup, or paying someone to go to their studio, use their microphone collection, their preamps, their knowledge, their ears, their sound booth, the soundproof, and just investing in your music, man. Like this could be 10 times better, This could be pocketed. This could be really, really fucking dope. And it could blap, like it could hit that sub frequency, P-Low comes to mind. Sounds like P-Low to me. Yeah, you're just missing the sonics, man. And the truth is like, if you get it recorded well and then you get someone like me to mix something like this, it's just a completely different thing. You're all of a sudden like, you level yourself up 3 levels. But with this is not even a demo to me. Like it's 2021, you guys. You can't just put this shit out. What are you gonna do with this? Throw it on SoundCloud and go and like pay SoundCloud promotion services that aren't gonna do anything for you? Like make 50 cents every quarter off your royalties? It's a waste of time. Why do it? I don't know. Michael Bush, I Came Up. Let's hear it.
Yeah. Boy, man. The last couple of years. Man, it's really been rough for me. Really rough. But I'm still here.
Man.
I guess like they say, I ain't going nowhere. To God get ready for me.
And he ain't ready for me yet.
That's what they say anyway.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe.
And that's real.
So as I look back, man, as I take a look at my life, without a dime to my name, I had to pay the price. To be the man that I am, I had to sacrifice. Tell me why cancer came and almost took my life. I asked once but never had the nerve to ask twice. I can't question God, but still it didn't seem right. They say everything in life happens for a reason. So I guess I can't complain, at least I'm still breathing. I thought I had a lot of friends, but I really didn't. As I sat up in that chemo chair reminiscing, I had a few to come and see me. I won't say no names, cause I think that they would only complicate things. And through the pain I smiled, unbelievable strength. And as I laid in the bed, it started to all make sense. All the money in the world couldn't buy me health. I guess it's why I tend to choose God over wealth. I'm still here. I done came up, put my life on the line. Walk with God, now it's my time to shine. If I made it, you could. You don't have faith, you should. All I did was believe. Now look at me, I'm all good. I done came up, put my life on the line. Walk with God, now it's my time to shine. If I made it, you could. You don't have faith, you should. All I did was believe. Now look at me, I'm all good. I guess the hand I was dealt didn't look great. No face cards, but I had a lot of space. I was making a lot of books that I didn't count. If I would've overbid it, it probably wouldn't have worked out. Trying to explain to my son, daddy doing fine, but he a smart kid, so he reads between the lines. Give me the duck face, I see him as he walks away. I can't worry about him, I pray to see another day. I couldn't let nothing or nobody stress me out, but I couldn't see my son living without me. I asked God for another chance, so I sat down, he made me a new plan. Use my testimony to show the world that life is more precious than diamonds and pearls. Every day I try to post something that you could feel. All I'm trying to do is show you my God is real. I done came up, put my life on the line.
Dope, dude. Love the story behind it, man. Like, You know, obviously you set it up in the comments section with the stage 4 cancer and surviving stage 4 cancer. Like, that is just amazing, bro. Like, that's what's up, man. Like, this song is like so personal. It's hard for me to like review it because it's not really like one of those things that I'd review for like market viability sort of thing. I think it actually would fit more in sort of like the Christian rap genre, to be honest with you. And I think that you'd have a really good voice in that genre, and I think that that's what you should shoot for. As far as like the intro goes, I would try and do something a little bit more creative with the intro. You know, because it goes for a good 20 seconds, and that's a long time in 2021 terms, you know? So if you're going to set up your story here and you're going to kind of do this little intro thing, I don't know, like try something a little bit more exciting, or just like filtering, or like maybe you just have a couple lines. Like try to take that whole idea and condense it to like maybe 5 seconds, right? Like just a statement, something that's like a hook. That's how I think about it. Like, hook people in. Like, what is this song going to be about? I think starting the story at the peak of the action, you know, I think that's always really interesting. Like, think about a movie or a TV show or something you watch that's really interesting, and they always like play the first beginning part where it's like something super dramatic happens. You know, Batman movie where it's like the action is happening or something's blowing up or something, and then it kind of like goes back to tell you the story bringing up to that. I think that that'd be more captivating up front. And maybe it's just 5 seconds, you know? It's like, man, I was in the bed and I was on my deathbed, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And then it drops into the beat. So people are like, whoa, this is heavy. And you're setting up like, this is a heavy story and you're along for the journey, and like, just tell us like where you were in your darkest moment sort of thing at the front, and just shorten it. Like, it's really about being punctual, like bam, okay, you're hooked in, now listen to the track. Second thing is, like, I think you really got to tighten up the pocket on some things, which really is just vocal editing. It's like taking the vocal and like messing around with it, or just recutting the vocal on parts that are kind of like the timing's weird, like where you're trying to stuff too many lyrics in one area in a measure or something. You know, you just got to really be careful with that. And then last thing is I think like the beat needs like more drops, you know, it needs more like you got this like this 808 going and driving the whole time. I feel like you got to drop that out and have moments, maybe even like a pre-chorus, like a pre-hook sort of thing before you hit that hook. Maybe you drop out the drums and you have like, you know, chords or like a padded synth or something, or strings even, you know, something that's going to be analog strings, I don't know, Juno strings, something that's going to give you like a moment of a break from that, like just go, 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 go. Because I think like your story is so intense that you're going to need like a little bit of break, like, whoa, okay, all right, shit, like what are we doing? And then you can have that pre-chorus going back into the chorus. But those are just a few things that I would do to make this just more exciting and captivate your listener and keep them listening, you know. But I love the story, and I think it would work really well in Christian rap. Like that genre would crush in that. And I don't think like your vocals are recorded and mixed pretty appropriately. I think the mix can be bigger and it could be more exciting and more pro, but I think you got it at a pretty good point right here. You just have like that extra 25% to go where you can really make this shine. But I wouldn't worry about the mix and stuff before you did those changes, because for me it's more of the arrangement that is kind of just lacking a little bit right now, and like the pocket and timing of the vocals and stuff. Like there's just certain parts, and just pay attention to it, you know. Go through this stuff with a fine comb. It's really important you do that. That's how records are made, man. Like it's all about the details. It's about the minutia, the nuances. That's how you go from like, here's a demo or a song idea to like, this is a record. And it's going to play on the biggest radio stations in the world, or Christian rap stations, or Spotify playlists. Like they're going to want like that star power stuff. All right. Hopefully that all works out. And that was helpful for you. Daryl, I still don't see your email. I don't know if your emails just don't come through, bro. Like you want to try a different email? I I don't really know what to tell you here. And you're not like on the actual mailing list. Like the mailing list would give you the upload link. I mean, I get all my emails, so I don't know if your emails are sending out or not, bro. You can try another email. You could try our business email, info at, or even just, dude, pop a link right here, Daryl. Radium-media.com. Like, send me a streaming link to SoundCloud or something here, or Spotify or whatever. But you can see I don't have it here, so sorry, man. Wish I did. All right, so let's move on. Be up next, Hakuna Matata. Okay, Hakuna Matata Mix 3. By the way, you guys show support. Like, if you like a track, throw some thumbs up. Let them know, like, you like it. Like, if you don't like it, like, be like, yo, this ain't it. I don't know, that beat's kind of whack. It's okay. Like, you guys can give feedback too. I think it's important because when you're on here and you're giving, like, you're putting your music out there in front of people, I mean, knowing like myself, I would want feedback. I wouldn't want to play my song and be like, yo, what do people really think about this? Like, how would the audience respond to this before you go put it out on Spotify and just have to guess if people are going to like it or not, you know? Like, this is an opportunity for you guys to get the feedback before you finish the song and put it out, right? And I'm sure a lot of these have already been put out, so, but let's get into it.
I can never take a L, you left like I told you to. You're your own boss, you're gonna do what you wanna do. You see that I'm a boss, I'ma move how I wanna. Do what you wanna do, what you wanna do, yeah. You see it in my eyes, baby girl, don't test me. I see you in my dreams, girl, you make me have a wet dream. Honestly, cause I'm in love with you, I'm in love with you, yeah. I want you to take a ride, come and hop on my jet ski. I hate it when you wear makeup, you know, and that's my pet peeve. I know that you want the truth, you just want the truth, yeah. Hakuna Matata, that my nada go hit the bing bing. You hitting my phone, it's on vibration, don't hit a ring ring. Shout out my nigga, call him the win, that's my ling ling. Ooh. Baby, turn around 360, yeah, you know I hit it raw. I know you feel like I feel it up all night off Adderall. I wanna see you ball until you fall, baby, just have a ball. In the bed, I got you screaming all night, yeah, like ooh la la. Baby, hold my hand, protect my soul just as I pray to God. On my knees, I beg for better days, I done made it this far. I know I ain't perfect, I got all my sins and fucking flaws. Wanna be perfect for you. Hakuna Matata, that my nada go hit the bing bing. You hitting my phone, it's on vibration, don't hit a ring ring. Shout out my nigga, call him the win, that's my ling ling. Ooh. Hakuna Matata, that my nada go hit the bing bing. You hitting my phone, it's on vibration, don't hit a ring ring. Shout out my nigga, call him the win, that's my ling ling. Ooh.
Hey, I like the timbre of the vocal. Sounds like very Juice WRLD, XXX. Like I think like it has a place. It's that SoundCloud rap kind of vibe, and even like 24K Golden. Like I feel like, you know, it sounds kind of like that timbre as well, which I like. I love that a lot. I think the melodies are strong. I think like the Hakuna Matata, bing bing. Like I think that's cool. It's got a vibe. There's a couple things in here that just aren't right. Like the keys that you're playing in here are not in the right key. Right here. So you got some notes in there that aren't in the scale and aren't in the key of the track, which I would fix right away because that's going to make you sound kind of silly. And I also think like it's in the vocal as well, just in the vocal melody. So make sure you're in the right key. And if you're playing like notes that are outside of the scale and that are rubbing, and you know what I mean by rubbing, especially like when you're making pop music like this, because this is pop to me, and to most people I think they'd be like, yo, this is like 24 karat gold, golden, like it has like that pop trap kind of vibe. You can't really have rubbing notes, like anything that's like the diminishing kind of not the right note, kind of half step away from each other. It's going to sound really weird to the ear, and people are going to be like, I don't know about that, man. Something's weird in here. And most listeners just won't realize, like, they'll be like, I don't know what's off about that track, but it just sounds weird, right? So that's one thing about it. I think everything else is pretty, like, I mean, for what it is, for like that SoundCloud kind of rap style, like, I think it's pretty cool. It has like the vibe. You got everything in there.
You made me have a wet dream, honestly, cause
I think for me, it's mainly performance stuff that I would give you notes on, you know, like I'm just not really sold on the performance of the vocal. And you can also do more stuff with the vocal. I think like more ad libs, more stuff that's going to kind of like be in the background, you know, like think about like Tory Lane's kind of ad libs where it's like, you know, like really drown out in the background. I think that would be really cool. It would give dimension to this track and stacking it a little bit, you know, like maybe you have a harmony, maybe you have doubles, maybe you have some things that come in and out. I think things just to make it more pop and more locked in, right? And like, you know, like we have a wet dream, like you need to really solidify the notes you're trying to hit and the runs you're trying to do, and just practice them over and over. And something I do to like really lock in on like the notes and what I'm going to do is I just like step away from the studio, step away from the song, and just kind of like sing it in the kitchen, you know? Sing it in the shower, sing it in the living room or like on a walk, you know, like try to figure out what that thing is going to be that's going to like continue to be sticky in your head, and it's going to sound good, and it's going to sound like something you want forever on a record, because that's what this is. It's forever. You know, you put it out there, it's going to be on the internet. It's everywhere and anywhere, always. So just make sure you solidify all the notes and all the textures and your runs and where you're going with it, and go through that piano you got in there, because there's definitely some notes that don't fit in that scale. Hopefully that was really useful for you. All right, I'm gonna keep looking in, see if I got my guy that emailed me, if he's even here still. I don't know if his email even works, but let's find out. You guys liking this stuff? Like, you know, is this helpful for anybody here? Like, even if you haven't been reviewed yet? I'd love to know. All right, Big Royal uploaded. Okay, so Royal, I think that's my guy. Let me see here. Just maybe refresh this. Okay, so Big Royal, Matt 3 defunking me. I think this is it. No. Okay, so we're looking for Daryl Watts. I still don't see your stuff, Daryl. I'm so sorry, man. Like, I don't know what's going on, but all right, let's get on to the next one here. Jacob B. Wallen, JBW, Fly Away This Christmas, Rev 1 with filter. You guys got some crazy names, man. Like, just put your name and the track name.
Jacob Wallen featuring Mr. Vegas with a brand new track called Fly Away Christmas. Check it out. Hey, bossa dance to me. Bossa dance to me, no. Hey, give me your dance, no. Everybody dance to me, no. Hey, bossa dance the sorrel on the ice. Yo, everybody get merry and nice. Give me another beer and nothing twice. Dinner time with the Shelly rice. Another Christmas for me and my family. My baby got something for me under the Christmas tree. Girls and wine cause of Christmas time. Well, you know this is our favorite time. We spread love to all mankind. No bother with the war and
I wanna fly away, away. This Christmas. I wanna fly away, away. This Christmas. I wanna be laying on the beach this Christmas. I wanna be laying on the beach this Christmas. I don't wanna stay in my hood.
Not this Christmas.
I don't need Santa Claus to tell me if I've been bad or good. I don't need reindeers, a silent night, or deck the house. I just wanna be sharing, that's all. I wanna see a sunrise on an Easter.
Awesome. Hey, Jacob B. Weiland, Fly Away This Christmas. You know what's really cool is like, I think this song could be really good for sync licensing. Like, I think you can get this into like maybe some TV show or some Christmas movie, you know, some movie about like people go, you know, to the islands for Christmas or some shit. It feels like it was actually made for a movie. Like you guys were trying to sync it in a movie or you had a brief or something. So I do like that part of it because I think that it could be synced. I think it has a vibe and it has kind of like that island vibe. I'm not really sure what the genre would be. I want to say succo or suko. I forget what it is, but anyway, I like it. I think it's really good. I think there's just the only thing that kind of pops out to my ear is the consonants and the S's from the artist here. Like, it's just like so much.
Say boom on that tally, and that's Merry Christmas for me. Away, guys, that's what I have in store. I wanna say Feliz Navidad.
You know, it's just like, it's maybe that like the microphone was not the right microphone for him and you guys had to like super DS him. The compressor's like attacking really fast. So like the T's are like really intense and the S's are just like, you know, like they just feel like they're super DS'd. Yeah, just stuff like that just kind of catches my ear. I'm like, oh, because I want this to be really smooth. I feel like the vocals could be smoother in this. It should feel like really smooth, like an island, like you're at an island, like you don't have a care in the world. And, you know, waves are smooth and the sun is smooth and, you know, oiled up bodies, you know, like I think like there's something about like the mixing and the sonics of a song. They have to match the vibe of what the song is about. And when that happens for me where they're off, like where there's like sibilance and there's like T's and there's intensity and stuff like that in almost like things that are cutting, I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound like an island. That doesn't feel like an island. And, you know, it's just me being picky because I've been mixing for almost 24 years, you know? So I hear all those problems and I'm like, oh, I want to retrack those vocals. I want to remix them. I want to, you know, make sure I'm not over processing them. I want them to sound more natural. I want them to sound more organic. But overall, like if I was to give this like an overall, you know, 0 out of 10, I would say that it's like a strong like 7 to 8. So I think it's really, really good and really close. And I think you guys have something cool here that you can probably sync license. And I would just make like a bunch of tracks like this. Just make a bunch of tracks that are like island Christmas tracks. Because I guarantee you there's publishers out there that are going to eat this up. They're going to want tracks like this. There's going to be a call for it. And there's going to be a time where you guys get some good 5-figure checks for this kind of thing. So good work. Thanks for submitting. So I saw Zale, you became a member. I'm going to get to you right after I get to Daryl. Okay, man? So anyone that's a part of the roundtable always gets to cut the line. All right. Just so you guys know. All right. So I got Daryl here. He is part of the roundtable, I'm pretty sure. And he gave a little, you know, bump. So here we go. Let's listen. All right, Daryl, I'm expecting some vocals here, man. Like, where are the vocals at? You know what I mean? I don't typically do reviews on instrumentals just on this channel because, of course, like I could be, you know, reviewing beats all day long, but, you know, it's not really that exciting. It's kind of boring to review beats. But I will give you some feedback on this one because, you know, you've just always been so supportive of the channel and you're always, you know, giving nice little $5 bonuses and join the roundtable and all that stuff. So my first piece of advice to you is you don't need so much going on. I think that you have so much going on the instrumental that you're really not leaving room for a vocalist if you ever did want to get a vocalist on this. And you can hear it mainly when you hear all these different synth things going on, the textures of the synths in the background. And they feel really quiet and just like unnecessary. And the problem with those synths in the background is they're also eating up space for like the bass and eating up space for the horns and the guitars, the funk guitars and stuff. And when you do that, you kind of congest things and you also kind of like, you cover up the dynamics, right? So if you have a noise floor, let's say your noise floor is really low, and then you put a bunch of like noise in there, which is like background synths and textures and all this random stuff, then you basically like take that dynamic range and eat it up. So if you had a dynamic range of this, right, then you're adding those synths and stuff. Now you have a dynamic range of this, right? So now you only have this much space for things to play with, drum, transients, basses, any vocals that might come in, background vocals. And right here, you can hear it the most when everything drops out. Like those things really aren't necessary. Like all the additional synth stuff, I would just strip it out. You don't need it. And try to get more directed on what the track is. Like it feels like disco, funk, got like hip hop elements. The drum beat is very hip hop, you know, like in its halftime, you know, I feel like you got to really get focused in on what this genre is and what you're trying to do here, just so that you can, like, you're not confusing the listener too much. It's really good to like pinpoint like, oh, I'm going to make a funk track, but then kind of think how I'm going to do it my way differently is I'm going to do this kind of thing that's going to make it a little bit different. Not to just throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and go, I'm making a funk, disco, hip hop, blues, pop, you know what I mean? Because then people are like, whoa, you're throwing the kitchen sink at them, you know? And I think that most of the time people just get confused. The listener's going to get confused. They're going to be like, I can't decipher what's going on here. So I can't decipher like what I should do with this track. Should I dance? Should I be, you know, like what do I do here? You know, so you never really want to confuse the listener. A confused listener always says no and skips. Just take that into account. If the listener is confused, they're just going to leave. They're going to skip the track. They're going to get rid of it, basically. But if they're not confused and they hear the first kind of notes and they're like, ooh, this is a funk track, right? They're going to be like, oh, I'm going to stick around and see where this is going because I'm a funk fan. I like Parliament. I like, you know, Bootsy Collins. I like all this stuff, you know, so I'm into it. George Clinton, right? Like I had a crazy vinyl collection before I moved to LA. But like, that's the thing. Like you got to really like hone in on the genre. And of course it's hard to tell the genre when it's just an instrumental, right? But those are just a few tips and feedback I'd give you on this. And then I would look for a vocalist once you strip everything down and get someone to top line on this. Because it being almost 6 minutes long, like there's no way someone's just going to listen to a 6 minute kind of just freestyle thing, you know? They got to be really into experimental music, basically. All right, Zale, let's move on. Hopefully that was helpful, Daryl. I'm not trying to be like not helpful. I want you to get the notes that you need out of that. Zale got a confirmation. Here we go. Had a dud link. So I'll just do this. Dude, this is fine on SoundCloud.
Everyone is dying lately. So you really wanna hate me? Everyone is dying lately.
Dope, dude. I think this is like a very original piece of music. So that's what you definitely got going for you. Kind of has like that future bass kind of vibe to it, but I really don't know what to call this because it has elements of everything in it, right? Like it has trap elements, has hip hop elements, has, you know, future bass, dubstep elements, pop elements. Like I think the catchiest part is, you know, the melody, you know, so you really want to hate me. Like, I think that's dope. I think that's a really cool concept and idea. I'd like to hear some more vocals coming in sooner. Just me. I don't think I would have listened that long as a listener. And I think most people are not going to listen until the vocals come in. So it's something you probably want to bring in, you know, a little bit sooner. Even if it's just like, like vocal chop stuff, whatever, just something to signify like you do have a vocalist coming in, you do have a hook, a chorus, a catchy little riff, a motif, whatever it is that's going to have vocals. And you also start to kind of, you know, establish yourself as like, oh, this could be cool. I want to hear this. Oh man, this is going to have a really cool vocal on it. You know what I mean? And you could even do like vocal effects kind of stuff. Like, you know, like you could have that kind of stuff up front. That's going to just signify that you do have a vocal coming in. Otherwise, I think people are going to be like, oh, this is just an instrumental. I'm going to skip it. I don't want to hear an instrumental right now. Especially if you're like pitching and you're like trying to get placements, sync licensing, you know, commercials, all that stuff. I think most of the time they'll be like, oh, this is just instrumental. I don't want to hear that. We need something with vocals, you know, whatever. Second thing is, I think that your drums could hit a lot better and harder. And I think it has a lot to do with just your over compressing stuff. And learning compression is like actually a really hard thing. Like I feel like this is like super over compressed on the drums, and you're kind of killing the transients of like your kick drum, and it's mainly the kick drum for me. I think the low end sub stuff is pretty solid, but yeah, it just feels like you're bringing up low level information and noise, which to me it sounds like you're using a specific plugin. What is that? X for Records. I mean, let me know if I'm right. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but X for Records has a plugin, OTT, I think it is. Is it OTT? Like that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that OTT X for. I'm hearing you like basically what it is to me is it sounds like you're using like the compressor though is like bringing up the low level information like crazy, especially on the synth stuff, which I don't think is necessary. And I think it's like making that synth kind of more cluttered and not as like, you know, like clean and like, you know, just kind of give it a texture, but it doesn't need all that compression. But it sounded cool, man. Like I really like the style. I like what you're doing. I think it's, yeah, there you go. So OTT on the masters. See, you guys, I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, you're with the OTT, what you're doing is you're using too much expansion, and I can hear it. I can hear it like crazy, and that's probably the part that is just making the mix to me kind of fall apart a little bit. So just be careful with expansion, because that's what OTT does. It just really expands, and you're like pushing so much stuff that it's bringing up all the low level information. So if a sample has any noise in it, you know, like, or like reverb or room or anything like that, or dimension, you know, because you're using Serum, I can hear that as well. You're bringing up that low level information, so the thing going is actually going like you're bringing up all that with it, and it just kind of clutters the mix, and it makes the mix sound kind of too chunky. Yeah. Hopefully this is all good. All good information for you, man. So yeah, use it because I've been mixing records for way too long for me to be on here just telling you guys all this game and you just being like, yeah, whatever, fuck you. I know you guys aren't like that though. So I'm going to get to the next one because I think we've gotten through all the oh, okay, synth plant. I like synth plant. It sounds so much like Serum though. Okay, so let's go to Raf. World Stop Spinning or Mirum Lad. I just got 2 here. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, Motrix, for sure. I did like the track, though. I think it's a really dope track. I'm just going to pick one here from Raf.
I'm asleep all day, in bed the sex rock and roll, carve our name in skin with pens. So what do you say? I'll just sit here feeling miserable. I love someone to tell, but I don't got friends.
Okay, so I know this vibe very well. This is kind of like that indie vibe, and you know, I've produced so much stuff like this. And what this is missing right away for me, Raf, is that the drums are like non-existent in the track. They're just like this like random MIDI kind of drum thing going, and you don't feel it. You don't feel the punch. They're not compressed. They're not up front like the vocal is, and you really need that. Like you need that. Great example, right? If you just go to Spotify and just listen to anything from the Strokes, right, you're going to notice that right away that the drum tone is always going to be pretty upfront.
He seemed impressed.
After me.
And so this sound and what you're going for is very groove driven, which means it's like, and another thing, it's very bass driven, and you don't even have a bass in here. So that's kind of screwing me up. You really can't do this sound without a bass guitar, a bass sound or a bass riff or a bass pocket with the drums, right? All you have here is guitar and drums, and the drums are just kind of like weak and anemic, and the guitar is really up front and the vocals really up front, which is a start. But I'd strip the drums, or I'd start to program the drums to be more on the same level as the guitar. And then I'd also add a bass line in here, because at this point, for me to review this, it's like, okay, what do you want me to review? You know, like if I just sang into a microphone right now and I told you, hey, you guys review my song, you guys would be like, I think you could choose better lyrics, you know? So, yeah, those are my notes, man. Add a bass guitar, get those drums to be pushed up front a little bit more, use compression, use better drums, like use, you know, Easy Drummer has some good stuff. BFD has some good stuff. The Logic Pro drummer is pretty good if you like compress it and kind of add some tape saturation to it. Find some samples to layer in with them, you know, so they don't sound like an acoustic kit, you know, just kind of a dated regular sound that people are like, oh yeah, I've heard that before. And yeah, man, hopefully that helps. And I got time for about 2 more, guys. It's 6:24. So Viking Dan, I think it's supposed to be Vicodin, but featuring Bentler. Yeah, mix is way off. Exactly, I agree. Sunday General featuring Bentler. Let's go. We got a little picture too. Maybe, hopefully, even a movie. Ooh, you guys want to watch a movie?
I spit fire rituals like a Nordic general. I'm violent, no not at all, but don't take the mick and don't be a fool. How far you willing to go? I'm not keeping it on the low. Friends and family, they'll all know. Foes and enemies, they'll all know.
How long I gotta wait? I shape my own fate. Lay awake late at night, thinking of different ways to stack papes, seeing signs hidden in shapes. Read between the lines, hidden ways, put it on.
Okay, so it doesn't take long, you know, like this is 40 seconds in. Probably before that, I could tell like how amateur the sound is here, right? So the beat itself, like using a piano and then using like dubstep drum sounds with a halftime feel, right away just feels like a no-go to me. I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. Like if you're doing this kind of sound, you're already completely dated, and people, and not dated in a good way, not like, oh, this has like a 70s vibe to it, right? Dated in like oh, this was cool like 7 years ago, 10 years ago, that dubstep kind of. I don't think the dubstep with the piano was ever cool, to be honest, especially like how straight it is. And so I can just hear like how new you are to producing, whoever made the beat. And then also like the vocals are recorded so weird, like doubling them and like panning them left and right. What you should do instead, just to get a little bit more professional sound out of this, and so that my comments are useful and not just dogging you for being a beginner, because I was a beginner before. Like I've made tracks that are like, I wouldn't want to show you guys. You guys would be like, oh my God, bro, that's terrible. But the first thing I would do is with the vocals, especially for this like chorus thing that you're trying to do here, is have a lead vocal. And then when you double that lead vocal, do a double left and a double right. So you double the vocal, the lead vocal, then you pan one left, and then you double it again and you pan one right. And then if you want to get really even thicker with your stacks, you can do another double, or you can do like an octave, or you can do like a harmony, right? Like a third or a fifth of the chord. Anything to like kind of have a lead center vocal, because if I play this back again for you, you can hear it's like blah, 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 blah. Like I have no idea what you're saying. I think most people listening are going to be like, what is going on here?
Not keeping it on the low. Don't take the mic and don't be a fool. Like a Nordic general, I'm a violent, no not at all, but don't take the mic and don't be a fool.
Right, because you have like a left and a right, but you don't have like a lead, right? So have a lead. And then when you do your left and right double, you need to use, you need to like look at the waveforms. And I mean, honestly, man, like you just need training. You need to watch some master classes that I have. You need to figure out, you know, how to time vocals, how to align vocals using like vocal align or doing it manually. Like you got to get things sounding a lot more pro. And my song creation formula is like a great place to start, because you'll go through like the whole process of me making a song, and I explain as much as I can about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. But yeah, that's what I would get into, is just learning a lot more, man. And don't just play and practice music, because if you don't know what you're playing and what you're practicing, you're going to just make more music that's not that good. So you need to always consistently revise your process. Make sure you're learning from people that are successful in music and are making great music that you like, and just keep revising and like learn new tricks and tips every time you watch the master classes and watch tutorials and stuff. I mean, I think that's really, really important for people starting out. So hopefully that's not like, you know, hopefully it's somewhat useful for you. All right. So the last one I'm going to do tonight is Swain Evelyn, Nawewe Vika. And you guys show some love if you like this, if you've liked this live, if you're getting anything out of it, you know, throw some comments up, throw some thumbs up. Like, I just want to make sure that I'm bringing you guys value. I don't want to be on here and waste anybody's time. You know what I'm saying? So if you're liking it, throw some love up. Let's go. Okay, so first thing, this is like a very, I think, an amateur move when you have two vocal lines going that are doing different movements and they're like stacked on top of each other. That's really, really hard for the ear. So if you're going, ooh, and another vocal's going, ay, 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 like, ooh, ay, 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 like, it sounds like a mess. And most people would agree like, oh, we're in for something that's just not going to be very pro. So the best way to combat that is put that ooh, put it in the background in reverb, in a room verb, whatever, to get it tucked back. So it's like a layer of an instrument or like a string sort of thing. And then the lead can be up front, right? So it's not as verbed out, and you can have it going, yay, 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 you know, but you really don't want ooh and yay, yay, like going together. Like it just sounds like a mess already.
Take me back to the place where you stole my heart and played the right cards. I will do anything. Take me back to the place where we said our first words and we never cursed. I will do anything, anything for your umpenzi yangangu. Anything for your umpenzi yangangu. Your vibes is unconditional. I love when you come over. There's something about your aura. Your vibes is unconditional. I love when you come over. There's something about your aura. Your love is unexplainable. I love when you come over. There's something about your aura. Your love is unexplainable. I love when you come over. There's something about your aura.
Okay, so for me, it's mainly like the vocals being all on top of each other that is really like just bugging me, because I want to hear the lead vocal, and I want the lead vocal to have star power, you know? Like I want that to be, your love is unconditional. Like I want it to be like, there it is. And the other stuff needs to support, right? It needs to be, ooh, ooh, like in the back. I don't need all these vocals kind of just all over the place, like taking up the forefront and just kind of throwing my ear everywhere. I think that that's kind of messy, and it doesn't sound like a record to me. It sounds like you guys are messing around with stuff and you forgot to mute something, you know? Second thing is I'd like to hear the drums kind of switch up. I think like if you're going to do that pattern, which is a little bit Afro beats, you know, the like I'd like to hear that kind of pick up or do something different within this first minute or whatever, right? So like, you know, do cut do cut do do cut do, you know, like a little bit more feel, a little bit more rhythm, a little bit more something to dance to, right? Which I feel like would have a little bit more of that celebratory vibe where you're like, ooh, I like this. Your love is unconditional, and like making me move a little bit more. And then like the programmed like perk and stuff, it can't be so quantized, not in this style of music. And, you know, I've worked on a lot of Afro beats, a lot of reggaeton, a lot of stuff like this, honestly. And this feels like kind of like gospel meets like Afro beats to me. Even dance hall, like I've worked on so much of that stuff. And the stuff that's really effective has so much groove in it, you know? Like you're really swinging off the groove. It's not quantized. It's not gridded. It's not like dot, 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 dot. Like it has like a very, very nice swung, hung back kind of groove, you know? Where you're like, ooh, I can't help but nod my head to this, right? So something to play around with. If you're using MIDI, just bounce it to audio and just cut it and just kind of move it off the grid a little bit, you know? Like let it vibe. If you need to, get a drummer in, get a percussionist in, and just have someone kind of like mess around, you know? And yeah, like the string sounds as well to me kind of sound a little cheesy. I think I'd mess around with more like modern synths, or I'd get like a layer of live strings in there. If you know someone that plays like cello or violin, probably violins, violin and viola, something like that, where you can really like, you know, do that. But yeah, I mean, if I mixed this, it would be 10 times better, but it's not going to fix the groove problems and the drum stuff and the programming. You know, you just got to be really careful with that stuff. I think you really got to lock in on a groove, and then the vocals. Yeah. Like figure out what your lead is, figure out what your backgrounds are to accompany the lead. And hopefully that's really helpful for you, dude. Will Smith, I don't see a track in here from you, man, but I definitely give you some feedback on one. If I saw one, is it Casino? 404, Give Me Life. Sorry, give me life. Let me know. I'll do one more for you, man, because you're the homie. Otherwise, I got to get going. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Happy to give you guys feedback. Okay, so I think you sent it to my email, dude. You guys sending me files everywhere. What's going on? All right, so let's check this out.
Whoa. I'm on the move, I'm on the wave, I gotta move, get out the way, I gotta choose to get paid. What do you do? Do what it takes. I'm on the move, bitch. Get out the way, I'm on the move, bitch. Get out the way, I'm on the move, I'm on the wave, I gotta move, get out the way, I gotta choose to get paid. What do you do? Do what it takes. I'm on the move, bitch. Get out the way, I'm on the move, bitch. Get out the way, hey, this ain't a race. Look at my face, she tell me I'm great, the Feeney a great. You cannot relate, cause I am a wave and you are a lake. See, I've been up late, writing these songs, getting in shape. Cause where I'm from, niggas ain't safe. Real life, I've been winning, got enough sauce for 10 women, got enough drip, I've been swimming. Forgive me, Lord, I've been sinning on these fuck niggas that been tripping. I ain't got time to beef with them. My shooters like Seth Curry, your shooters like Ben Simmons. I promise you, I ain't playing with you. Making plans in a pandemic, show you how to get a bag with it. Gotta push it to the damn limit. Got a new account with some bands in it. Got a new place with some fresh linen. With a bad bitch that be laying in it. Said too much, man, I've been finished. Move, bitch. Get out the way, I'm on the move, bitch. Get out the way, I'm on the move, I'm on the wave, I gotta move.
Okay, so right away for me, the mix is not there, right? Like the mix is like very, like the drums aren't hitting the way they should. The kick drum sounds really funny, actually. It sounds really like scooped out and weird to my ears. It's not mastered. It's not at a competitive level. So I don't know if you're planning on getting this mastered, but let me know. I can master it for you. But yeah, it needs to compete. Like it's not loud and proud and like in your face and punchy like this needs to be. It does have like that Wu-Tang feel, kind of classic, you know, 90s kind of hip hop stuff, the boom bap vibe, which I love. Vinyl sample-y kind of stuff. Love that a lot. Mobb Deep, grew up on this shit, right? But it's just not really like hitting it for me. I don't know. Like, I also feel like it's very like it's like drums. There's like a bass or 808 kind of vibe in there. And then there's vocals. And then there's just that like bing, bing. Like there's not much to it. So it's kind of like a freestyle track. But yeah, man, like I think this has potential. It's just not really there for me, man. Like I feel like the kick drum is just like super like scoopy, and I especially hear it when you do the do, like you're doing the 16ths here.
Move, bitch. Get out the way, I'm on the move, bitch. Get out the way, I'm on the move.
Like it's just like go. Like it's not a punchy kick drum. Like you need to make that punchy. It needs to be like it needs to sound like it came out of an MPC, you know what I mean? Like that's the vibe I get from it. But yeah, the vocals sound pretty good. I mean, it's not bad. I like the rapping more than anything. Like the voice is dope. The flow is dope. The pocket is pretty damn tight. So that's what really sticks out to me. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of like one of those things where you like giving feedback on something that's like, you know, the arrangement, like arrangement is the first rule. Like great arrangement is the first rule to a great mix, right? So if you don't have a great arrangement and you're kind of like, sparse arrangements are really actually hard to mix. They're actually much harder to mix than really complex arrangements, because sparse arrangements, you still need it to sound big and sound like a record and sound put together, but you only have a few elements, right? So I think the next step for you on that one would be to get it mastered, dude. Like really get a good master on it. So let me know if you want mastering on it. Charge you about $125. Give you 3 rounds of revisions in it. Hit me up. And you guys, thanks so much for showing up. I really appreciate you all coming through. And till next time, I think we'll do another one on Wednesday. Make sure if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Like we're doing new content all the time. Got episode 100 of the Radium podcast dropping tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that. We did kind of a special edition for you guys and kind of recorded like the daily workflow behind the scenes kind of shit here at Radium, and just kind of give you my like daily routine sort of vibe. And we answered questions. We did all sorts of fun stuff. It was cool. So I appreciate you guys coming through. Like the video, share it with people. And that's all I really ask. I'm not asking for anything else. All right. You guys take care. Have a good one.